Well, the first frost is here, and everything has turned white, and it's about 4 centigrades below zero, and it's quite chilly. Of course, once the sun comes up over there, that will change quickly, and we might have t-shirt weather throughout the day. But as you can see, for the time being, everything is pretty iced up. The dogs are barking because at the neighbor's place a few dogs are barking, and so those one here do the very same, just to mark their territory. And these trees will now lose their leaves. Others have already lost them, but this is now going to be the leafless variety. And by the way, that yurt is now sufficiently damaged, not the wooden parts, but the canvas. I mentioned this before. The canvas is to be replaced after so many years. And what Angel and I will do once we start again and are organized is to remove it. We will put the wooden parts, the nice things, in storage and throw away the rest. That is what happens with a yacht. That's totally normal. And maybe in the future we can use it again. Also, I don't see any use for it in the foreseeable future. So you can see how things look at the moment. Over there are the 6 sheep. And I'm panning around a little bit to give you an impression. And given the temperatures, that's also one of the reasons why we did not make any attempt to bring some chicken here, because they are raised in a heated barn and the temperature shock would be too huge given the young age. He's pretty fat, so to say, so he can manage. He will get his food in a moment. You see how the early frost looks like. And you can see there are still the tomatoes in the ripening phase. We will see what that does, but last time it was similar. So the first frost might kill the plant, but they will still continue to ripe. But then someone said I can harvest them and place them indoors. So maybe that's something I can do. But it's a question of having the space. And speaking about space, so this temporary house in the future will be removed and the place will be recovered. I would like to have something like a harvest house. So a structure that's basically storage and a huge kitchen, and in that we can then process things. So this was built. It's my first house. I am not a builder. I have no experience in that. It's the very first time that I tried this. To be here instead of living in a tent or in an RV or something like that. I have some ideas to build an actual house in that location there. So there is a plan to reshape the whole thing. It's a written plan. And it just needs to be executed step by step. And now that the bad apples have left the basket, all this will happen step by step. And of course the speed depends on manpower and budget available, but it will happen because this place I did not buy as a production facility but as the foundation of a home. and it's going to be one. So this is now one of the objectives. But then here in the farmyard, my idea is to also offer places for other people to participate. So it starts with some accommodation there in the cortijo. It will be insulated also. So there is an idea to use spray foam insulation inside, 2 inches on the walls, at the time when we also have those people here to insulate the new barn. So there on that platform there will be a barn. We will do something else before. We will put 2 containers there behind this and make a roof between them. I have seen several examples and I like that. And that should help us to get all the stuff out of this, because this is going to be destroyed more and more. And a few people mentioned, you could fix that roof and all this. No, we cannot, because let me, now that I'm walking around here, explain you why we cannot. So, first of all, this was built on the sheep by the previous owner. He wanted to save money on every corner, and this is all extremely weak. So those who built this were not very skilled, and everything had to be cheap and quick, and that wall will tumble down very soon. And to fix this we would have to do a lot of things, and it makes no sense, because we have a better idea, but we need to execute it. So you can see this is really not good for anything. The metal parts are attached in a makeshift fashion, so I don't like this, and it's obvious that this is not very strong. And then here on that side there was that fire a while ago, and this is all to be demolished. For the time being we use it to protect a few things from sun and rain, but this will not last. And right here where that back is and the trailer is standing, there will be a road that leads to that gate over there and starts here on the other side. So the road will go right through the middle of this, and there are some plans for some other buildings in the future in that area that you see here. So this is going to disappear. So someone was asking how much the dogs eat, what they consume. So let me show you. So this here is their feed. It's a 20 kilo bag. And what I do basically every day is I fill this bucket, and I think this is about a 5-liter bucket. Right now it's not completely full, but almost. And basically I get 3 fills out of 120 kilo bag, and that is their ration for the day. And then I have this barrel here. We had 3, but 1 disappeared, and the other one is used to maintain a pump in water so that it won't go bad. So I wish I had the other one, because then I could fill this. This thing right now is completely full. So this is then going to be the ration for the next day. But if there are other critters around, I better close the door. It almost does not fit. But doesn't work. So I better put this in another safe spot. And then that is the ration for later. The cat, yeah, Mr. Cat, gets this. And here is a bucket, smaller size, with the feed for Sakarawaya, the blind mare. And I'm now going over there to provide this to them. And then I plan to take you with me to check something else, because there where the horses are, the 3 other ones, this does not hold enough forage anymore. I need to give them another space, and you are going to see what that is. And it's very interesting, I think. Every single piece that is hanging here from the ceiling is accounted for individually. Nothing can escape. Each leg has a label with an identification number. Now Angel is taking one out to have a closer look. And here it is. You can see how yellow the fat is, and you can also notice how it has shrunk. Now the weight is significantly less than when it was fresh. When you start cutting the ham, it is important to keep this fat in order to close the cut surface again, so that it won't dry out. To get your own leg of ham, you can head over to our web shop and order some. There are 2 options for you to buy the ham. We offer envelopes with 100 gram of hand-sliced pieces of ham. And there is the full leg. In the case of a front leg, it's about 4 to 6 kilo each. Families in Spain keep the leg in the kitchen, and everybody cuts off a slice whenever they are hungry. So you see there in the distance the solar panels, and I moved them yesterday a little bit steeper with this makeshift version of a solar array. I can do that, and we are getting 500 watts more now. So it did make a difference. Of course, when there is some wind, they will take off, so that's a huge problem. But I hope very soon, can be counted in weeks, I guess, we will then have a proper installation there behind that wall, and that will then also provide some shade in this direction for future things to come. I should probably mention what that is. So these are Axitec solar panels. They are made in Germany, and they provide nominal 330 watts. And I guess those are 18, but I have to admit, let me show you, that 3 of them are damaged. They still produce, but of course they were flying around. You can see that the glass is shattered. What's beeping is the electric fence. There's one here. I have a warning device in my pocket that will tell me. And so it was probably interesting. And as I'm here, I can still show you that. So this structure here is what we built in the very, very beginning, and we bought from a Spanish supplier these inverters there. You can see the brand name, and it turned out that this is some outdated model, probably based on some Victron design, and then a local electrician installed them, and these 2 things, they got too hot. They also damaged the batteries, so we had a lot of batteries down here, and everything got too hot. There is shade close, and I thought this might help. The whole thing is insulated, so most of the time it was okay, but then the problem started in year 2 actually, and we lost quite a number of batteries worth 5,000 euro. And then I had to buy these batteries again, but together with an SMA solar system. SMA is a German manufacturer of that stuff, and they happen, as poor coincidence, to be located in the city where I grew up, and that is what we have there. And now that I talk about this, let me take you there, show you a few more details before I recover the tripod and the bucket. So there on the wall the thing sits. So the one to the right is the charge controller. This has a capacity of 8000 watt, and the batteries are in that box. There are 16, and it's a 48 volt system. And the red one to the left, called Sunny Boy, that is the inverter for the solar panels itself. So the solar panels are attached to those two strings of wire, that's how they call it. So they are wired in series, so the voltage accumulates, and it can be overbooked, and the plan is to get a second one together with 14 570 watt solar panels. And now in theory this could produce 9000 watt, but of course I believe it was 9000. I have not done the math in memory. But the point is to put as many solar panels on a Sunny Boy as possible and overbook a little bit, because most of the time they are not at full capacity, actually almost at no time. And then we have increased significantly the generation of power. That will then maintain the batteries always full, which then helps to survive the night without trouble and have power to spare in the morning. By the way, the thing to the left that's blinking a little bit, this is a power meter, and my hope is that someday I can talk to it with my own software. So there's a network that I can access, and we will see how that is possible. Might be some hacking involved. And eventually all this will then move into the cortijo in a room that is reserved for that, because here it is still exposed to the ambient temperature, and when that ambient temperature goes over 40, which it has been, then of course this stuff also suffers. So we better place this in a room where it stays more or less cool. This is one of the things that are going to happen now. So the priority overall, you might have figured it out if you are watching all the time, is to fix a lot of things and make this place truly livable and not be in this state of, this is just to be here. No, it is now to live here for real. And it also includes, but not this year, to build a house over there. And if you happen to know something about carpentry, then you are more than welcome, and I don't expect volunteers in that case. So if you know carpentry or know a carpenter, a freelancer, this is a paid job. I definitely would like to form a crew for a couple of weeks or 2 or 3 months, or how long it takes, to build quite a few things out of wood. And of course this is paid. So if you happen to know people, doesn't matter where you're from, as long as we can communicate in Spanish, English or German, then please let me know. I would love to have a conversation.